The engines are warming up. How's it going, dude?
Great. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Awesome. All right. I think we're live for 55.
We're live. Episode 55.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's it.
Nice, dude. So, let's see. Today we have some interesting things to talk about. You got an interview lined up. We're going to talk about that and how to make it awesome, right?
Right.
We're going to do a little we're going to take some of our own medicine today. We're going to do a little get shit done self accountability. Something interesting is about to happen today. So
Cool.
I can feel it in the air. So that's very exciting. We're going to talk a little bit about what shit we actually are and aren't getting done over at getshitdone.com. What's happening? Where are we making progress? Where are we dropping the ball? How are we going to fix it? Right. Hopefully you can learn a little bit from us along the way as we move forward through the ups and the downs of growing a brand new business. So very, very excited to be talking about all of this here today. My name's Tillman Knudsen. I'm here with my co-host, Eric Oliver.
Hey, guys.
Very exciting, Eric.
Yeah, let's dive in.
So what's your positive focus?
Positive focus. I woke up at 5:30, went to the infrared sauna gym and did a vigorous workout with the rowing machine in a sauna, and then did another vigorous exercise with these like exercise bikes, also in a sauna.
Yeah.
And then there was like two different kinds of exercise bikes. So it was like 45-minute workout. We showed up a little bit late, so it was like didn't get the full 45 minutes in, but probably like 37 minutes of vigorous workout and infrared sauna.
Cool.
So I haven't done that in a while, and I've been like really. Usually I'm on point with my fitness regimen, and I have not been at all. I mean, the past like half a year or so, I've been really slacking with it, and the past month, I don't think I've worked out at all.
Yeah, it's very tricky. Is how do you balance all the things?
That's the thing.
Without being like turning into a militant asshole.
Exactly.
Like for me anyway, that's the challenge.
Yep.
Is like when I like seem to have my act together, I'm not cool to hang out with because I'm like, I have to do the thing.
I know, right?
Like I've got a list to check off my items before midnight. Yep. Stop talking to me, children. It's just like, it's not that cool. And so finding the balance of like how to keep everything in balance and growing and thriving, not just get it to a place, but get it to a place, because everything constantly is breaking. Everything's breaking down. Everything's falling apart. And so we need to like, not just build it and create it, but we need to maintain it and improve it to prevent atrophy, to prevent decay, like to prevent the chaos from like slowly tearing everything down. Right. Without, and finding that balance without constantly overcorrecting in one area, to overcorrect for your negligence. I know. It's tough. It's tough. Yeah, I mean, I find it that it's tough. Certainly. It's a challenge. So, okay, so your positive focus is you hit the gym this morning and
got up early. That's nice. The one block of time that is really open. Before 7 a.m. there's open time blocks. So it's just a matter of actually waking up for that and being making myself available for engaging with life at that hour. Yeah, exactly.
And it's good when you get in a rhythm of it, but like takes a few months before it like really starts getting good. Like if you're not used to getting up early and exercising first thing, it takes 2 months. Like there are times when you're like, whoa, this is great, but then there's also times where like, I really want to be in bed right now. And after for me anyway, it takes about 2 months, and then there's no resistance anymore to it.
Okay, cool.
Right? Like,
good to know. Yep.
That's nice. Cool. Well, I woke up at 6 naturally and fortunately went back to bed and was able to sleep for 2 more hours. I didn't get to bed until a little after 11:30. I had a late men's group, which was really, really awesome, down in Greenfield. And so with my men's group that I meet with every 2 weeks. We usually get together for dinner and explore our thoughts about reality and
cool
in one way, shape, or form. And it's really good. I've been a part of this men's group for quite a few years now, and it's a very, very tight group of guys that all are kind of like exploring kind of a similar spiritual path, perhaps, is the best way to put it. It's not
okay, cool.
So it's very, very interesting stuff.
Yep.
Cool. So why don't we talk about your upcoming interview? Because anyone who has ever step one, it's Monday, and so we should really talk about what we're doing this week and what we did last week, what we said we were going to do last week. What did we do? What did we drop the ball? And I'm going to go ahead and open that doc, but this is a little focused on you, Eric. It's a little revealing, right? So,
right, sure.
I appreciate your willingness. But before we dive into this, I just had this really interesting idea before we went live with the show, right? And it's this. So one of the things that we don't really have right now is a good, on top of it, highly organized, kick-ass project manager on the team.
Okay, right. I mean, I guess that would be you right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Technically speaking, and I'm a terrible project manager.
right.
Yeah. Like I can do it. The only reason I can ever get anything accomplished is out of pure enthusiasm, right? Like,
okay, right.
That's all I got. No,
yeah.
I mean, project management and doing it right and keeping things organized and keeping one's mind and a team on task is a tough, it's a skill set. And there's one person that comes into mind that probably would be into it. So I'll have to reach out to her and see. But what I was imagining was, as you and I were chatting before the call, as we often do, about what the focus is of today's call, because we don't have these planned in advance. We plan them about 5 minutes in advance, and most of the time. And one way to plan calls in advance and get rid of all of that issue is schedule interviews, right? And so one thing I would encourage you to do is to take lead on leading the scheduling of interviews process.
Okay, cool.
Like that doesn't mean you have to be the person to because I know a ton of awesome people that I should reach out to, but if that's one way that you could totally move our content engine forward without being constantly on the spot to ask a question. Right.
Okay. Got it.
Because now you get to ask our interviewees questions, right? And we get to figure out who they are, and we can reach out to them and connect with them. And theoretically, half of the people that we get on the show for the moment, should probably come from your network anyway, right? So that's a way of just kind of addressing that issue. But we were texting back and forth about tactics versus strategy. We're working on TikTok, working on Facebook, working with a webinar. Am I going to this group target market? Am I going to that target market? Where am I supposed to stay focused? Where am I, what? Which is honestly the same question that Curtis was asking yesterday.
Okay.
The problem is the question was way too vague. It's just kind of like a scattered question. It's like, I have all these things I could focus on. Which one do I focus on? Right.
Yep.
And so what I realized is we have a new business with getshitdone.com. We have both revenue streams and an opt-in process. We're actively doing things every day to drive traffic, and it's growing, right? And we're doing a daily show as a huge piece of our the primary piece of our traffic efforts.
Yep.
And so one thing that we can do is we can shift our focus from you, Eric, and what you are or aren't doing in your business and how it's going. And I mean, we can certainly talk about that, and we could maybe talk about it once a week or once a month or something. But what we could really focus on is get shit done, and what we are doing, what is working and isn't, and then committing on the show to what we're going to do for the next week, and then reporting back on what we do or don't do with it, like together as a team, right? But we also have a few other members of our team. So we have Curtis as a co-host. We have our newest co-host who has not committed to anything else outside of co-hosting. So I don't know if he's going to be on the Get Shit Done team outside of the co-host world, which is Rory Stern. But Rory happens to be a media buying specialist, and we don't have a media buying specialist on the team. So, right? And then the other thing, I mean, so it would be a natural fit, right? For that role. And we also have Ganesh, right? And Ganesh is our he's our Indian god. He's our resident Hindu god. So the remover of obstacles. And so he's a combination. He is a combination of a project manager and a tech wizard, a tech guy. He's like a supersonic tech guy, and he has access to a bunch of people he has just really great relationships with, mostly in India, who are highly skilled and inexpensive to work with, So so Ganesh is cool there. And then I was thinking about this other woman, though it's not limited. Certainly the position could be filled by any appropriate person, but this other woman that I've worked with, I'm not going to mention her by name because I want permission to do that first. But I've worked with her in the past, and she's been interested in working on a experimental project in the past. And so I think I should reach out to her and ask about doing some project management stuff. And here's why. It's like, what if the Get Shit Done show, I mean, there's so many different things we could do with it. So this is one of the things we could do with it. Maybe. But what if it became a reality show? And what if the hour was actually kind of like our morning meeting with entertainment? Like, we know that we're entertaining the world. We know that we're talking up, but we're also like reporting in on like, okay, I spent 90 minutes broadcasting yesterday and got a grand total of 1 click over the website, guys. Nobody liked my live stream yesterday. or like we did a webinar and 3 people showed up, or whatever the reality is. But where we touch base, we report in on our KPI, we talk about what we did, we talk about what we're doing, we talk about where we're stuck, right? There's probably certain types of information that we would leave out of a broadcast, and there are certain types of interactions that we would leave out of a broadcast. Like, if somebody on the team was accused of sexual misconduct, we'd probably leave that for a private conversation, for example. Right? Like, we'd still have some degree of boundaries. But the idea here is that I'm just seeing we have a comment. Oh, it's Arden. Good morning.
Hey, Arden. Good to hear from you.
Morning. Good morning, guys. Glad to see you this morning. Let's GSD. For a second, it looked like I thought I need reading glasses, apparently. But for a second, I thought it said let's LSD. I'm like, it's not that kind of show. Arden. It's not that kind of show. But yeah. So Arden, I'm still waiting to hear from you. When are you going to get on this show? When are you going to get on? I need some dates. 9 a.m. Eastern, 7 days a week. You can choose what day. We're right here. Seriously, shoot me or Eric a text with a day. You're like one of our most faithful viewers and followers. We would love to do a little interview with you and see what you have to say about life and business and entrepreneurship and getting shit done. So my thought was, you were asking questions like this morning, like, should I, Should I be focused on Facebook? Should I be focused on TikTok? With, you know, who am I supposed to be attracting? You know, who's my target audience? You know, and these are questions that we've certainly addressed before and aren't fully clear yet, right?
Right. Yeah, and TikTok's a whole different ball game. It's totally different.
I don't agree with you at all.
There's no personal branding. You're really just speaking one message over and over and over again.
That is personal branding. It's all personal branding on TikTok,
I mean,
dude.
I don't know. Personal branding I see is like, you know, you have a few different things you cycle through and you're talking about your life, what you did with your kids, what you did on the weekend. You don't talk about that on TikTok. You just have one message and you just over and over and over again. You get a fresh audience every time.
Okay,
you don't have like
hold on.
Yep.
So first of all, you know more about TikTok than I do.
Yep.
So you know what I mean? And I'm making some assumptions.
Okay.
And we have certainly are looking at it differently.
Sure,
And so we should talk about that. It's
okay.
interesting.
Right.
Because my understanding is slightly different, but let's not get caught in the weeds about TikTok just yet. Because it's like all of the questions that you're struggling with around your business that are super personal to you, like just because you're struggling with something this morning doesn't mean it's the most important question for you to ask either. Right. So if we address the questions that we're dealing with within Get Shit Done, and we're telling people, hey, we're a small internet business with some people with experience on the team, right? This is not our first rodeo, and we're building a new business from scratch. Let's talk about how to grow it, and let's talk about what's working and what's not, and where we're happy and where our frustrations are. And I feel like I want to give up. Should I? You know, but like together about what we're building together, rather than you just constantly being on the spot for your own business, and like feeling bad about what you didn't get done or whatever, you know what I mean? Because inevitably, if you're just reporting back on all the stuff that you didn't get done and you're just talking about your struggles every day, like that at some point gets a little weighty, right?
Sure.
And so
get right through the coals every morning.
Through a little tough, right? And so like worth it, right? But at the same time, a lot of
the calls, feel really uplifting and give me a lot of clear direction, and then sometimes it's also just like, ooh, it's a mix of both. But ultimately, I think it's a good thing. But we can let's talk about Get Shit Done too today.
Yeah, well, we're trying to help you, and we're trying to help our audience at the same time. And
exactly
what I realized is that Get Shit Done itself is a mirror for every single one of every single internet startup business, whether you're starting from scratch or even if you're an existing business that's been around for 10, 15 years, you're still starting from scratch, and you know it, because all the old stuff that used to work like crazy totally doesn't work for you anymore as well as it used to, does it? No. It's so frustrating. Like, you have to retool the whole thing, and that does involve changing like every few years, it seems like, and it's happening faster. You might have a business and you might have cash flow and money and like all, which makes things easier, but it also makes things harder, because when you have an established business, it is really hard to change this to change the systems on a dime and try something new. The older the business is and the more successful it's become, the more resistant to change resistant to change it becomes. And so it's very hard then to turn on a dime and just like go whole hog into a new social media platform just because you feel like it one day. But you can do that when you're a solopreneur and you got nothing to lose, right? And so let's see. We have a couple comments coming in from Arden. He says Saturday and Sunday. Okay, great. So let's do next Saturday, because Eric's usually
I'll be there on Saturday. Yep.
He says, I'm busy during the week. Arden's taking my side. He disagrees with you too, Eric. TikTok can be very personable.
All right.
We should talk about this.
Yeah. I'd be interested to hear more from you on that. I mean, it can be personable, but it feels different than on Facebook, where I don't know. I guess the training that I've had with Mike and a lot of the content that I've been exposed to and some of the creators that I'm following in the business arena have been really just kind of pushing out their business message over and over and over again. So you get a fresh audience every time. So it's not like, yeah, you have your followers, but they push your content out to brand new people every single time you press broadcast or press the post button.
Right.
It's not like on Facebook where it's just your same people, maybe a few new people each time. It's like huge, wide open space. So yeah, putting out your your hook, your story, and your call to action every single time. Um, yeah, it's different. I mean, yeah, then there's people that aren't promoting a business on TikTok and they're just, talking about their life and stuff.
Right.
And a lot of them have a huge following, and maybe it gets more personal with that. But yeah, and I mean, I look at your friend Jim.
Yeah, Jim Katsoulis.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what he's doing. He's just putting out his same message over and over and over again and talking about it, the same thing in different ways or similar ways.
So, Eric, what I'm saying is that there are clearly multiple ways of doing this.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
And like different personalities, gravitate toward different types of things. Like so here's what Arden has to say. Arden says, my audience has been built around working out, and life adventures for both of my accounts.
Okay.
TikTok works just like all the other social media platforms. They do their own organic outreach and find like-minded audiences just like Facebook would with ads, like-minded audience, he says. All right, yeah. So it's like like we'll see evidence of our theories everywhere. Okay,
right,
so
sure.
like you come up with the theory on how something is or how something works, and then you're going to start spotting evidence of that, right?
Yeah.
And so the examples that you gave, Eric, are totally evidence of the idea of, you have to say the same thing 1,000 times.
Yeah.
The reality is, in my experience, not the reality is, in my experience, dude, people have been saying that since before social media existed. When we're talking from stage, people, and talking and giving a talk from stage or doing a teleseminar, pre-webinar days. One of the biggest things that people would say is that you're going to get tired of your message way before your audience gets tired of your message or has ever even heard it. Okay. So like, sorry, but no, like yes, you're going to have to repeat yourself 1,000 times. At the same time, I would go so far as to suggest at first, you're saying 1,000 different things to see what's going to get some traction. And then once you get some things that get some traction, you're going to repeat it 1,000 times. Jim has been in business, Jim Katsoulis, with Program Yourself Thin. He's been a hypnotist since before he went on the internet. He and I met because he walked into my hypnosis office and we were about the same age and we had the exact same haircut and we have, kind of a similar body type. And so it was really funny. We were both completely clean shaven and had a shaved head. And, he's a little skinnier than me. Other than that, it's like, because he's vegan, and so other than that, like we were pretty similar. And so, he and I, he was helping people with weight loss hypnosis back in the day, as was I. And, and when I say back in the day, I'm talking about like the year 2002.
Yeah, he mentioned it was way back. I popped on his live stream the other day and mentioned you, and he said he knew you from a long time ago.
Yeah, we should get him on the show because he's crushing it with TikTok.
Oh, he is. Yeah, right.
And Jim is crushing it through consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like Jim is absolutely on there every day consistently, and he has been for the last few years. But there were many times in his life and business where he wasn't consistent like that about his traffic driving, and he struggled. Like he started with email, like we started a summit together. We did the truth about hypnosis, and we interviewed all these hypnosis guys and did a teleseminar series. And then we built like a 12,000 person email list or whatever and made a bunch of money, but not so much money that it could take my attention off my main business. My main business was crushing it at the time, and this was a total side project. And so I gave him the business. I was like, dude, I don't have time to run this. Here, take it. And over time, he developed Program Yourself Thin. And so he's been getting his messaging clear for years on that. And he finally settled into it. He's like, oh, this is what I'm doing.
Okay.
And now he super consistent, and he has a message that works, and it brings people in consistently. Though I bet that he was scared as the bejesus when we had that TikTok blip.
Oh, right. I mean, his whole business is on there.
I haven't talked to him about how
that went, right?
Emotionally went through that, but yeah, we should get him on the show. So
yeah, that'd be awesome.
So okay. So let's get back to what we're actually talking about here.
Yeah,
today.
Let's do it.
So the well, we were going to touch base about what got done last week, what didn't get done last week, all these types of things. Do you want to do that, or do you want to actually just shift gears into talking about what we're doing with Get Shit Done, where we're at, and where we're going?
Yeah, I mean, we could touch on that stuff, or we could just dive in. Either is fine with me. I feel like I know what I need to do, and I know what I didn't get done. I'm looking at my list right now. I got a lot of stuff done, and there's some stuff that I was a little bit inconsistent with. And then there's one thing that was on the list that I have not done, or one thing that wasn't on the list that absolutely needed to be on the list, and I just added it in big bold letters down at the bottom that says need to do, which is reach out to my group members and start building more connection with them.
So here's one thing, you're right in that. I agree wholeheartedly. So what I've watched you do, kind of like in a very subtle and unconscious way, is I've watched you avoid doing the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized it as you were talking. Okay. So what is the most important action that you can take to grow your Kenge business?
On Facebook, it would be building personal connections with people and
seeing. That's not an action.
Okay, messaging my group members.
To what end?
To what end? To find out what they're struggling with and what they're trying to create and how I can help them.
Why?
Why? I believe I have something that I could offer them that could really help them depending on what their struggles are.
What are you trying to get them to do when you're in that messaging conversation, Eric?
Get them in my webinar.
Why?
Well, if they're wanting to create more abundance in their life and get out of the grind of working for other people on other people's schedules and start working for themselves in their own work environment on their own terms, they might really benefit.
So you're actually doing it right. That like you're doing the thing right now is see how many questions I've asked you?
Yep.
Each one of them is to try to get to the one actual most important thing.
Okay.
And you've been working on all those other steps that you just listed. Each time I asked you a question, you've been working and tinkering with each one of those steps. But what's the thing you want them to do?
Oh, I want them to join my team and get moving with this. I think
what do they need to do in order? Before they're allowed to join your team? What do they need to do?
They need to invest in a Kangen water ionizer.
How are they going to do that? What do they have to do before they invest?
They hop on a call with me.
They hop on a call.
Right. So I need to book calls with people.
Okay. What's your most important number? How many sales calls you did, dude?
Yep.
That's your most important number.
Yep.
Before how many sales calls is how many booked sales calls you got.
Right.
Okay.
And before that, how many people registered for my webinar to get on the call?
That's one way to get people on a call.
Okay.
One way.
Yep.
Maybe not the way.
Well, that's what I'm considering with my whole TikTok game is completely different than Facebook. What I'm working with on TikTok is a vastly more automated system where I'm just posting short form video, driving traffic to a funnel, which is fully automated and can book calls on autopilot. And if I can hack that and get that to where it's functioning and getting calls booked.
Wait, hold on. Slow down.
That's
You're okay. So number
yep.
one, I could be wrong about this. I've been wrong before, but I hate that funnel.
You don't like that funnel?
I hate it.
Okay.
I think it's hypey. I think it sounds like total garbage. Like it totally sounds like a biz op. I don't like it.
Okay.
And my opinion might not matter, dude. So
yeah.
So here's
I know it's working for a lot of people.
Well, so again.
Yep.
Have you ever made a sale from that funnel?
I haven't.
Okay.
I was promoting it.
That's it. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was using YouTube ads, Google ads on YouTube for a while and was not successful with that. And now I am seeing what I can do with it through organic TikTok strategy.
Okay, listen.
Yep.
So maybe the funnel is magic somehow, and I'm judging it. Maybe I'm judging a book by its cover. Okay.
Maybe. Yep.
So let's say the funnel rocks.
Yep.
And let's say the funnel will book you calls, and let's say those calls will turn into sales. Why haven't you been driving directly to that funnel from Facebook all along? All of your organic, like personal Facebook stuff that you've been doing this whole time, why aren't you driving it directly to that funnel?
I find that with Facebook, it feels like more hands-on in Facebook. Like I find the benefit of making more personal connections organically on Facebook, where TikTok, honestly, I just feel more disconnected in that space. So I feel like, and there's just so many people on TikTok. I mean, there's a lot of people on Facebook, but your reach can be vastly bigger on TikTok to where it's just dealing with large volumes of people and, send them through the funnel.
I think the way that you're thinking about this is messed up, and I think it's causing you issues.
Okay.
So do you have a piece of paper?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is an idea that I learned from Mark Joyner way back in the day, and I don't think you ever learned this, and maybe it will help. Maybe not.
All right.
But I'd like you to draw. Basically, I'd like there to be like an 8.5 by 11 type portrait piece of paper, and the top third, the middle third, and then the bottom third. Okay. So top third. Oh, actually, in the middle third, just have a straight line going up and down in the middle third.
Yep.
Okay. Now in the top, I want you to have 1, 2, 3 lines coming down like in a funnel from the top down into that central middle line. Top third, 3 lines coming down.
Okay.
And then down at the bottom, you got 3 more lines coming out the bottom, like in a triangle, kind of like a vibe.
Okay.
Can I see the drawing?
Something like that.
Perfect. Okay.
All right.
The only thing is that you don't really need the horizontal lines, but you can't get rid of them, so don't worry. Just pretend they're not there.
All right.
So here's the deal. The idea here is it's called Source of the Nile. Okay. And the Nile, as in, I know my video is a little choppy. I'm trying to fix that at the moment.
Yeah, a little bit.
Source of the Nile is like the Nile River, right? And so up at the top, you have the inlets. Okay. You have the sources for the river. That's where the water comes from. Okay. The little mini rivers, the streams, the water running off the mountains, whatever, that are all feeding into the Nile. Okay. Then there's the Nile, and that's your sales process.
Okay.
And then what comes out the bottom is profit and customers. Okay. And some of that's going to go into your bank account, and some of that's going to essentially be utilized in order to recycle resources back into the top.
Okay.
Okay. So the top third, those three things, right? Let's shift to talking about get shit done, because I think this is going to help.
Okay,
So
sure.
the top third, top 3 traffic sources over the course of the next year, okay, throughout 2025 and beyond, but certainly in the next year. What do you think the top 3 traffic sources are going to be for getshitdone.com based on what you currently see and know?
Well, we have the daily Get Shit Done show, which we're then turning into short form video.
What are the traffic sources?
Okay, so
traffic sources.
Organic content.
Nope. Where does the traffic come from?
Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.
Probably Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, right?
Yep.
So you can label each one of those 3 lines: Facebook, yep, YouTube, and TikTok.
All right.
Okay. And for argument's sake, we've got both organic and paid probably on all of them, right?
All right.
Or at least we'll try that, right? We also know, in addition to the 3, we could have another line coming in from podcasts.
Okay.
Right. We also know that we could have another line coming in from the webinar circuit, doing webinars.
Yep.
Right. Going out and doing other people's. So webinar / affiliates. Then another line coming in from affiliates, just promoting the Get Shit Done system. Right.
Yep.
Okay. So there are many other sources of traffic, right? I mean, if I was more like in the mood to be doing a lot of public speaking from stage, I could be doing that if I wanted to. Sure. My kids are still young, whatever. So I'm not really interested in doing the public speaking thing that much right now. Yep. Traffic could come from Amazon book launches, right? Traffic could come from doing integration marketing on ClickBank. Traffic could come, it could come from lots of different places, but Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, probably LinkedIn. Okay. So each one of those traffic sources is a skill set and a full-time position in your company. Food for thought. Okay. So take a look at the image, the drawing, and can I see how you're doing so far? Perfect. Great. Okay. So the Nile in the middle, that's your funnel. Okay.
Yep.
And traditionally, most funnels go something like this. And you could do like think about the funnel from top to bottom, like the way you often see a funnel drawn these days, like ClickFunnels style, right?
Yep.
Like opt in, low ticket, upsells, sales call, high ticket, right? And sometimes there's a webinar involved in there somewhere. You know what I mean? The opt-in might be for a webinar, and sometimes there might be no low ticket. It might go opt-in for webinar to sales call to high ticket sale, right? And that's your funnel.
Yeah.
In your case, that is your funnel, right?
Right.
And then on the back end at the bottom, you get money and you get customers. And so with your money, you can reinvest that in paid advertising. And if your funnel holds up under paid advertising, then you've got a profit machine.
Yep.
Most funnels won't hold up or will only hold up for a period of time. And then you have to keep on improving them over time. And they'll last for a given amount of time. Then they won't work anymore and you have to build another one. right?
Okay.
And then once you have an email list and you have customers, you can communicate with them on a regular basis via email and social media. And so when you, for example, have a weekly YouTube show, every time you have a YouTube show, you broadcast that out to your email list, you broadcast it out to all of your social media channels, and you drive them to YouTube to grow your viewership on YouTube. Right. So you're using your social media sources and your email, which is kind of your own social media channel,
Right.
or your own media channel anyway, to drive traffic where you want it. You have a new offer, you use all those channels to drive traffic where you want it. And so in a push on across all fronts, right? Whether you're on however many channels you're on. So word of mouth also happens. Again, we're in the lower third now of your drawing, right? These after you've gotten an email list, after you've built a following, and you have money, and you essentially have clients and customers. You in your case, you now have a team, and that instead of it being a word of mouth business, now that team turns around and recruits. If you build it right and you train them right, the team turns around and builds and recruits, and then they're essentially bringing traffic into the front end of the funnel. And if what you do is you have the ultimate Kangen funnel and only your team members get it, because you've perfected it over time, or maybe you have 3 different funnels that you've perfected over time in your Go High level account, that you've designed over time. Now people, when they join your team, they get your funnels.
Right.
Okay. And you like do the webinar with them, and it becomes an automated webinar, and it's personalized to them, but it's all like you have a webinar funnel, you have a low ticket offer funnel of some sort, perhaps, if that makes sense. And then, I mean, you could have a webinar funnel, you could have a sales video funnel, and you could have a, content drip sequence funnel or something. You could have different types of funnels, in almost any situation. But in network marketing, it's kind of like consume some content, book a call, in one way or the other. And so, so when the resources come out of the bottom, the question is, how are you going to reallocate them in order to grow? Right? Some of it's going to go to pay the bills. Some of it's going to go to pay you and your team. Some of it's going to be repurposed into growth in one way, shape, or form. So when you add in a new traffic source like TikTok, what you're doing is you're adding in a new source of traffic to your main funnel. And so what I'm trying to get you is get that, and that's the strategy, what I just outlined. That's and so
so not have a separate funnel for them.
I mean, it's not like you're gonna try all sorts of funnels. That's gonna happen anyway, and you need to. But like at the core of your business, what are you trying to do? Okay, like what's the actual strategy behind your business? And so this principle, again, I learned this from Mark Joyner. He also teaches this concept called band of excellence. Okay, that directly applies. So up at the top of your drawing, that's the traffic. Okay, and so band of excellence is intensity, efficiency, regeneration. Intensity, in this case, in a direct response marketing oriented business, intensity is traffic. It's new people coming to your website. Okay. Efficiency is conversion. It's it is making your funnel more slippery. You're making your funnel convert at a higher rate. You're getting more of your visitors to turn into customers. Okay. You're doing split testing. You're trying different funnels. You're trying, but the point is to get your sales mechanism working better, tinkering with it. Right. And then regeneration is activity to turn your customers and your subscribers into more customers and subscribers, either through paid advertising, word of mouth, building your affiliate program, training your team, what have you.
Got it.
What you do is you go on a schedule where you have your intensity days, your efficiency days, and your regeneration days.
Okay.
And of course, you're going to have days off probably in your business. And you need to figure out how to cycle through them, but it's a little bit like training. It's like leg day, arm day, back day, or in running, it's like hills, hills, speed work, and long, slow distance. Like those are, and you cycle those types of workouts in order to, get well trained. And so you cycle your daily activities, so you're not doing the same thing every single day. And this can then be shifted as your team grows. But as a one man, one woman, solopreneur show, you have you, right? And so you, Eric, in your business right now, you have you and you have your team. And one thing that is definitely true is you're not doing a very good job of continually training or utilizing your existing team.
Right. Well, that's
and
true.
I understand that some are motivated, some aren't motivated.
That's the thing. There's this complete lack of motivation with the people on my team thus far. Right. And I've reached out to them all individually and asked them what they're struggling with, how I can best help them. And they've all just kind of, oh, I don't have time for this right now, kind of attitude towards it.
If that's
just
the
where
case,
they're
then,
at.
If that's the case, then there are two things, right?
Yep.
One is that it's important to realize that you've attracted those people.
Yep.
So that is totally like that laissez-faire attitude. It's like you need to focus on attracting the people you want, right?
Yeah, I feel that.
Right. And that's by being that more of that kind of person that you want, right?
Exactly.
The other thing is that maybe you're just not doing something that is inspiring enough to catch their attention. So just think about, is there a way, maybe not, but is there a way, either with the existing team that you have or the team that you're going to build in the future, that you could work together to build something really cool, just even with your Facebook group? Like, how can you make your team members look amazing?
Right. Get them involved in the project.
Maybe start by offering to interview them. Right.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
If they're willing, be like, listen, I want to help you if you're willing to help yourself. Are you willing to get out of your comfort zone? If they say no, then bummer. But if they say yes, then do an interview with them, dude. Share it to your Facebook group.
Right.
Right. Find out what questions that they have, whatever. But so anyway, here's the point. Point is that if you have a funnel that's working, the question is, how many traffic sources can you start and successfully manage and keep profitable running into that funnel? It's not about switching funnels up left and right for different traffic sources. You're not going to need to do that until you're making a few $1 million a year, dude.
Okay.
Okay. Like if you have one funnel and 3 traffic sources and they're all profitable, like, you're great. Like, you might find, like, dude, maybe, and again, you're selling a high ticket network marketing thing. So it's going to be, you're going to have really good tracking on this in order to find out what funnels they came through, because it's not like they're opting in and buying something right off. Right. Though I do want to point out, dude, that this is actually really important. Okay. So Kangen has been around for 50 years. And I suspect that their marketing tactics are slow to change. Okay? Because they're an old company. And what they teach,
they don't do any marketing. They have a $0 marketing budget.
Okay. Well, so
it's all the distributors.
Yeah, but what they teach the distributors to do probably doesn't change really quickly.
Yeah, I don't know that they're really providing that training. That's entirely up to the distributors to teach and duplicate through their downlines.
Right. Right.
Yep.
So if there's nothing coming directly from the company, it's going to just be like luck of the draw, like because someone decides to
Try
teach
something new and it
prolifically,
worked.
right?
Right. Yep.
So here's the point. Generally speaking, when webinars were new, people would get on them, they'd watch them, and then they'd buy from them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we realized that not only could you sell from a webinar, but you could book sales calls from webinars and sell even more high ticket stuff in a one-on-one call than you could in a group call.
Yep.
Shocker, right? Then we realized that we could also, so what's happened over time is webinar show up rate has gone down, and the number of webinars that are available any given day on any given time has gone up. So there's more webinars aren't special anymore. Is the
I feel
version.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so your webinar has to be like the content of your like webinars as a medium isn't special. It doesn't mean people aren't on webinars. It just means people aren't fired up about a webinar because it's a webinar anymore. Okay.
Yep.
And so your webinar has to be compelling. It has to be interesting in and of itself. And so if you're selling high ticket and you're selling from a webinar, you're still going to have to get a whole bunch of people to register for that webinar, and a whole bunch of people to show up to that webinar, and a whole bunch of people to respond to your message on the webinar to make a sale. Okay. And if you have no ad budget and you have no social media following, then nobody's going to be registering for your webinar and showing up to your webinar.
Right.
Okay. And so this is one of the reasons that the rise of the low ticket offer has happened in the last several years in the internet marketing space.
Okay.
And it works, and it works really well. So Alan Sultanich teaches this with automatic clients and nothing held back. And he does an amazing job. I really love his model. Onyx Singal teaches this with his SLO, SLO, his self-liquidating offer, which is a low ticket front end with some upsells. Okay. And the reason is because if you're running ads to a webinar and you have a low show up rate on your webinar and you're doing a high ticket sale, and like it takes forever to find out whether or not anything's even going to make money. Like how much money can you spend, can you afford to lose before you make your first sale on a sales system that you're not confident in, and in yourself, which you might not be confident that can sell effectively once they get on the sales call, you know? And so there's a lot of points of resistance. It takes putting a whole bunch of people into the front end of that opt-in page to get one person to buy at the end of the day.
Yep.
Okay. So low ticket offers give you the ability to have the same ad spend and to know within 24 to 48 hours whether or not your sales letter is going to work and whether or not your messaging works.
Yeah, it's
because
a good point.
Somebody buys that $7 offer or that $10 offer or that $27 offer after you spend $150. And then when 2 or 3 of them do it, and then one person buys your $200 upsell, you've made your money back in 24 hours, and you know you've got something that at least has a little bit of a pulse.
Yep.
Whereas your webinar might take doing the webinar 5 times before you even know if you can make any money with it.
Yep.
Okay. So having a low ticket, fully in alignment offer as part of your funnel is really smart, whether you're putting in blood, sweat, and tears into your social to create your traffic, or whether you're spending money on paid advertising to get your traffic. They both require a sacrifice and a commitment of resources from you. And you're not going to get anybody signing up for anything if you don't have any traffic coming to the front door. And so the top of that diagram is your traffic, and that's intensity. So on Mondays, it might be intensity day. Okay. And all you're doing on Mondays is focusing on improving your traffic systems. You might have a daily schedule of sending out an email to your list and doing a daily live stream and turning that daily live stream into clips. And that's part of your everyday process, for example. But on Mondays, you're focused on getting more education about traffic and improving your skills, expanding, increasing your traffic somehow. So it might be that you on Mondays, on intensity days, that your every intensity day you create and try at least one new ad. Maybe your ad budget is $10 a day.
Right.
And on your intensity days, you throw another ad into the mix, and you also spend 90 minutes going through your new course you're taking from Kurt Molly on traffic.
Yep.
Okay. Efficiency might be on Tuesdays, and efficiency is basically improving your funnel. Okay. Split test another headline, add another upsell, put a low ticket offer in for homework. Maybe it's an affiliate offer at first, and you're going to eventually graduate to create, write your own sales letter and sell your own thing for homework, so you can get some money back from your time and ad spend that you did doing social media and paid advertising, whether or not anybody buys from your high ticket offer. Right. And so you're tinkering with enhancing your funnel on intensity day or efficiency day. And then on regeneration, you are focused primarily on, it could be one thing for regeneration would be adding another email to your autoresponder sequence. Okay. That's regeneration. Another thing for you that would be regeneration is, that's where you put heavy emphasis on team training days.
Okay.
Right. Maybe you do a, hour-long training for your team on regeneration days, and that's where you're focused. And so maybe you have a school group or something like that, or your Facebook group or whatever it is, and you're doing training in there either for free or for your paid team or whatever it is. But you're making a system, a process by which the people that enter your funnel are going to help you to create more people to come into the front end of your funnel. Right. So with that model, that's the strategy. Okay. And moving between intensity, efficiency, and regeneration is part of your weekly workflow and schedule and where you put your focus. And what can happen over time is the people on your team and the people in your Facebook group can take part in aspects of this if it makes sense, right? So if you have a dedicated team, dude, you can have someone who's your Facebook butterfly, social media butterfly. You can have someone who's your TikTok super ninja. You can have someone who's your copywriter. And they can all be working to, if there are group resources like the Facebook group or like a school community that everyone can be working on growing, then you get things like the Get Shit Done, like we're co-hosting the show, like you're a member of the Get Shit Done group. We're working together and we're creating content together on a daily basis. This is an example of collaboration. You can do collaboration with your team too.
Got it. Yep.
Right. So, so that brings us back to the Get Shit Done show. I was like, wow, wouldn't it be cool if we got a project manager on here and our tech guy on here, and we're like in the morning, we're like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to knock this stuff out. Ding, ding, ding. Here's what we're doing this week. Here's what we're doing today. Let's get to work. And then we're going to report in on the results, on our actual results. Well, we got 21 new subscribers this week, guys. We're not really changing the world yet, but we're on our way, but that's how it starts,
Yeah.
So I think it's a great idea, dude, for you to have an automated funnel in addition to your webinar funnel. Great. At some point, work in a low ticket offer, in my opinion.
I've been thinking about that as you're talking here, how I might do that.
Well, I mean, the way you would do that, dude, the way you would do that is you would promote attraction marketing.
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
I have an affiliate link for that program. Yeah, exactly.
Or like the TikTok course. Right?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Or both.
what was that course called? Crush It with
Rock
TikTok or something?
Rock the Talk.
Rock the Talk, right?
Yeah, it's an excellent program. Yep.
So I haven't been through that. Actually, so why should I take Rock the Talk, Eric?
Well, I see you showing up on TikTok. You have a TikTok account. You don't have the following you want yet, do you?
I don't.
You're almost to 1,000 people. You
but
have the ability to.
I did 3 live streams and I got like 2 followers or something, right?
Okay.
So yeah, it's slow, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But it's just like I haven't been consistent yet.
Yeah. So what I learned in the Rock the Talk program is how to apply attraction marketing specifically to TikTok to blow up your business on TikTok specifically.
Great.
Increase your following, increase your views, and drive traffic to your link in your bio.
Great.
Yep.
Okay. So I would take it because I want to grow my TikTok following and use it to get more traffic.
To build your business, to grow getshitdone.com. Yep.
Great. That's fine. So, okay. So applying any kind of strategy consistently to a social media platform usually gets results unless somebody's completely talking out of their ass, which, usually if it is it's usually obvious, right? If someone's going to go to the trouble to make a really good course and like sell it well and all the things, like chances are pretty good that it's going to work if you put it into action, right? So you were asking this question when at the beginning of the show about should I you were saying, should I double down on a strategy or should I focus on something different? And so
right, or to like focus on the one thing or do the multi-pronged approach, I guess. So I'm doing the thing on Facebook where I'm developing skills with presenting my own webinars and driving traffic to my own webinars and booking calls through that avenue. And then on TikTok, okay, so I have this funnel system. I invested a lot of time and resources into putting that all together. It's a plug and play system that, the bulk of the work was done by a crew of other people, but I did invest a lot of my own time into integrating it with my domain and setting up all the integrations with it. Took a couple of weeks of 12-hour days getting it all hooked up, and it costs some money to do that also, and I have it. So it's a tool that I have not been using, and I know it's working really well for at least some people, and I haven't quite gotten it to work yet, and I'm wondering if I don't know if it's worth my while to. I feel like the answer is yes, it is worth my while, or I wouldn't be putting the effort into trying to see what I can do with it. I don't know other people using TikTok specifically. Most people are using YouTube ads to drive traffic to it, but TikTok is a great platform.
Eric, what's the primary call to action on the front page of the funnel?
On the front page of the funnel?
Yeah, when people go to the link, what do you ask them to do?
Click on the button to take the free training.
You're asking them to opt in.
To opt in, yeah.
Then they watch a video.
Yep, it's a series of videos.
And then they book a call.
Correct.
Great. So
there's a couple of surveys too that they fill out.
So what I don't like about it is the hypiness and the vibe.
Okay.
What I like about it is the fact that it's a fairly sophisticated automated funnel compared to what else you have out there.
It is. Yeah, okay. It has dialed in email drip and text message drip and
Yeah. So
all the follow up, all automated. It's a nice system in a lot of ways.
Right. I think you need to get your messaging right on it so that your messaging is in alignment on social media and it feels the same and the message is the same on your funnel so that people coming from your videos on TikTok or Facebook or wherever are also going to respond to your funnel. Like it's all the same. It's all part of the same marketing funnel. Your TikTok videos, your Facebook videos, your YouTube videos all need to resonate the same way as your funnel. Okay.
Yep.
Or people are going to jump ship and it's not going to convert. It's all part of the same process. Okay. So you're going to improve that funnel over time. That's fine. But at the end of the day, dude, the one thing that you need to be focused on is booking calls.
Right.
Now.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the most surefire way that you know that you could absolutely get calls booked in the next 48 hours?
The first thing that comes to mind is direct messaging people in my group.
Great.
It's the most labor intensive way to get calls booked, but I know that I could get calls booked in the process of that.
Okay. Let's say I joined your Facebook group. For argument's sake, let's start with, you don't know me, I don't know you. Facebook showed it to me. I clicked the button. I forgot that I even clicked it.
Right.
What are you going to say to me?
I'd reach out. I'd be like, hey, Tellman, great to connect. I noticed you joined my Facebook group, Peer Path to Prosperity. So glad to have you part of the community there. I'd love to hear a bit about what's happening in your life. Like, what are you currently working on creating? What kind of goals do you have? And where are you most struggling? Something along the lines of that.
Cool. I want you to be way lighter, way more personable, maybe a little less intrusive.
Sure.
Right? Like, you should have 1 or 2 short sentences that gets me to respond.
Okay.
You're asking for my life story, but this is the first time we've communicated.
Yeah.
So, like, I'd like you to approach it like we just met at a park. Like we're walking our dogs and they wanted to like sniff each other's butts. And so we're talking to like, what's up? Like, right. Or whatever. And so, just ease it up and have it be more personal. Right. However, I agree with you, engaging with conversation. So that's a great question, by the way, to ask Mike. How do I start? That's who you're interviewing, right?
Sorry?
You're interviewing a guy named Mike?
Yep.
Yeah. When you interview Mike, ask him about Messenger and direct messages and what's his process for connecting with new people in his world who join his Facebook group or follow him or whatever. Like, how does he break the ice and open the door? And what's the process to then bring that into a sales conversation?
Got it.
Like, what's his style? How does he do it? Right. And you can know how he does it by going and engaging with his process this week and acting like a prospect and seeing what his system does. Right. So when you reach out to people, great. It's Monday, February 24th. Next Monday. How many sales calls do you think you can book in the next 7 days? Now, I'm not saying they have to happen in the next 7 days, but they should happen in the next 14 days. So how many sales calls do you think you can get scheduled in the next 7 days?
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, but like, what's your target?
My target in the next 7 days, I would love to get 5 sales calls booked.
Great. How many of the people in your group are you willing to reach out to?
Let's see. In the next 7 days.
The answer is all of them.
All of them? That's a lot of messaging.
Dude, it's 7 days. It's less than 1,000 people.
Okay.
You're fine.
All right.
You want this group to grow or what?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
That's a lot of messaging.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, it's even more messaging and do it for Get Shit Done, because the Get Shit Done group is bigger, and we got the school group. Right?
Yep.
So what applies to you applies to us, right? And in most cases, it applies to everyone, which is, if you don't have enough sales calls booked, go do the thing that you're resisting doing most, that takes the most hard work, and book the damn sales calls. Okay. Like, do your best, reach out to everybody and connect and be personable, find out what's going on with them and find out how you can help them. Right. And in the process, like, dude, you want to know what you can do that would, like, is game changer, is make everyone a unique, short, 1 minute or less video.
Okay.
And have that be part of your welcome to the group, or how's it going? It's Eric. You know, they're like, hey, dude, it's Monday, February 21st. I wanted to personally welcome you into the group, Bob. And I thought that the warmest way to do that would be by sending you a personal message, because we hadn't had a chance to connect. Like,
yeah, I like that idea. I feel like that would make it maybe more fun than, like, I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like get caught in the weeds messaging through typing all the time. And
well, yeah, but
I think that's
it will slow you down, and then it will get repetitive. Also, it will be more fun for the first 5 videos, and then it will
right. But then after like the 279th one, I'm like, fuck, I still have to get to 360.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, no, I think I could definitely get sales calls booked through that activity, and that's like the most labor intensive way. And what keeps coming up for me is like, okay, yeah, I could work harder, which is important, but then there's like, how can I work smarter? And that's why I'm looking at TikTok as a way where through short 30-second, 1 minute videos, drive traffic to a funnel system that's already set up and have calls booked on autopilot that way. So I'm trying both.
So here's
the deal. What works.
Here's the deal. Yep. There's nothing wrong with that, but you're not driving enough traffic anywhere to be splitting your efforts. If you're going to get, like, you just got your webinar system going, and instead of using your TikTok traffic to build your list and get people on your webinar, you're getting distracted with the automated system.
Well, that builds my list also.
Hear me out.
Okay. Yeah.
Your automated system may end up working better, dude.
Yep.
That's not that doesn't matter.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm testing.
But you don't have enough traffic yet.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. Right now, you're trying to get people on your webinar.
Okay.
Remember? You're working on your squeeze page. You're working on your opt-in page. You're like, you're inviting people to the webinar from your group, right? TikTok is another traffic source.
Yep.
My recommendation would be drive everybody to your webinar and use your funnel as your automated funnel as a potential homework link for people to go. And you want to get a jump on this and find out more faster, click here for a.
That's an idea. Yeah.
That way you can drive people to opt in for your webinar. You can be testing your webinar, and you can be siphoning probably 70% of the people that opt in for the webinar over to your other funnel to book some calls in the meantime. Great. Go for it. Not only that, in some cases, it's going to make way more sense when you're messaging people in Facebook. It's going to make more sense to have them drive to your webinar, give them a link to your webinar than it is to book a sales call, especially if your sales call calendar is full. So it's like, but remember, book the sales calls. That's what you need right now.
Yep.
Okay. Everything else is a way to book the sales call, but don't get in your own way. Book the sales call through whatever means necessary. Okay. So yes, you need to work smarter, but you don't have any sales calls right now. So you need to work harder first, so you can get the sales calls and you may, and generate more revenue. And then when your time's maxed out, because you got 3 sales calls a day, now it's time to get smarter, because your messaging's right. Your sales calls are converting. You're able to get people on the sales calls by using the personal touch.
Yep.
Now it's time to use the automated touch because your messaging is resonating.
Okay.
But you don't want to start working smarter before you know what the fuck you're doing. Like, or you're just going to go off in random directions and not know what, anything. Right? So yeah, you're creating the action plan for success webinar.
Yep.
I predict over time that's going to become the network marketing action plan, or the action plan for success in network marketing, or the network marketing action plan, right?
Yeah, we'll see how it evolves. Yeah.
Discover the incredible network marketing action plan that virtually guarantees your success in any network marketing opportunity. Like that's serious. But like maybe you'll go in a totally different direction with it, right? But whatever it is, if you're doing the weekly webinar to get good at the weekly webinar, then make sure all your traffic efforts are to build your list and get people on that webinar to book the calls. But in the meantime, you're also growing your group. So one of the things that you're going to want people to do after they register for your webinar is going to be join your group and to follow your TikTok, right? So all of these things are going to fit together. But as you can imagine, if you overdo it and you have people opt in for your webinar, click through to your automated sales funnel, ask them to join your group, ask them to follow you on TikTok, ask them to watch your YouTube, ask them to follow you on X, ask them to follow you on LinkedIn, ask you to follow you on Lemonade or whatever. Like, at some point, it's just stupid, and you're just going to disperse all of your efforts into nothing, right? So you don't want to do that either, because just telling people to follow you everywhere is not the answer.
I mean, there's only a few places they could follow me, but yeah.
At the moment,
sure.
But like that could be expanded to, dozens of places easily, right? Not easily, it'd take a lot of work, but like by repurposing stuff to dozens of places with the right team or outsourced team, right?
Yep.
Anyway, look, my point is, dude, focus all of your efforts on one funnel and get that funnel, because you're going to have to put thousands and thousands and thousands of people through that funnel before you even get a split test that gives you any statistical significant results. You can't do a split test with a couple hundred people and have any idea what you're talking about unless the variation is so radically different, right? It's like you have to put thousands of people through.
Right.
Okay. So you don't have enough traffic to be testing too many things all at once.
Right. I guess that's the one thing I do like about the funnel I have posted to my TikTok is it has had high volumes of traffic that's been through it, not necessarily through my version of it, but it's the same funnel that many people are using it, and they're constantly testing. It's constantly being tested and fine-tuned in that way.
Again, like,
I don't know.
Regardless of my opinion about any given funnel,
yep,
you need to test a bunch of different things and use what's working the best and is like works for you.
Yeah.
In your style and your sensibilities and whatever anyway.
Right.
But yeah, so that's really the name of the game. It's been kind of a weird episode today.
Yeah, right.
So okay, well, I do want to wrap it up because we've been going for an hour and 18 minutes.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Sure.
But there are a couple things. One is, dude, I want you to go inside your group. And so this guy, Mike, is he going to talk about network marketing, or is he going to talk about TikTok or network marketing on TikTok? Or like, what's his deal?
Yeah, he's into network marketing. He's into TikTok strategy, and we'll probably cover areas of all of those places.
Okay. So, go into your group and be like, I'm interviewing such and so, expert of this and that. And I want to know what questions you have about network marketing and using TikTok to grow your business. Got any questions? Ask them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to work them into the interview coming up in a couple of days.
Cool. Yeah, I like that idea.
Right?
Yeah, I'll do that today. Yep.
The other thing is that you need to be smart about how you ask it, but you can go into other network marketing groups.
Yep.
In particular, go into a network marketing group where he's a member. Right? And be like, hey, I'm doing an interview with such and so in a few days. What's your biggest question? What's your biggest question about TikTok right now? Ask me in the comments below and I'll try to work it into the interview.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I like that.
Or you could ask the same question about network marketing in network marketing groups, right?
Yep.
Or you could go into a network marketing group and ask them what their biggest question is about promoting themselves on TikTok, right? But like do one of those headline image, color image posts with a single sentence, again, focused on what's their biggest question about network marketing or what's their biggest question about network marketing with TikTok. And if he's in the group, tag his name. I'm doing an interview in a couple days with @Mike, whatever, Gristapo or whatever his name is.
Gastola, yeah.
Gastola. And so yeah, that's what I would recommend. And this is a big part of this, Eric, is you getting more in touch with who your people actually are and what they're actually concerned with and what they want and they need, because you're going to be asking these questions to this guy, but it's your job to ask the questions that your audience has. That's your job. Like your job, like from your own perspective in a way that's going to be engaging and interesting, but your job is to be the voice of your following. Right. So, the other thing that I would highly recommend is send him, say, hey, I'm getting, I'm working up my list of questions. How many questions do you think would be good for this interview? How long do you want this to be? Or I was thinking this would be 60 to 90 minutes. Does that work for you? How many questions would be good to cover in that time, do you think? And then say, what would be some of the best questions that I could ask you during the interview that you can deliver zinger answers on?
Right. Yeah. I like that.
And so he's probably done this enough that he already knows what a bunch of the questions are. And so if you reworded the questions in your own words, but like basically teed him up to knock out some amazing answers because they're rehearsed and he knows they resonate, then that's going to make for a really good interview too. So I would ask him, and I would ask your following. I would ask ChatGPT. And most importantly, dude, like you're trying to build your business with TikTok and you took his course.
Yep.
So what are your questions? Be like, hey, dude, I took the Rock the Talk challenge or whatever, and it was really cool. And I'm trying to use TikTok to grow my business, but I haven't made any money doing that part yet. And so what about this? What about that? Should I do it this way? Should I do it this way? It seems like people are saying the same thing 1,000 times. Is that still true? Or, is there a different methodology? But like, I would ask the questions that naturally are coming out of your curiosity as you're trying to grow your business with TikTok. Do you think, hey, should I be driving links to my webinar, my new webinar that I'm trying to get data for and trying to get opt-ins for, or should I be driving it to a kind of a prefab automated funnel that is proven to work with a bunch of people but doesn't really feel like me as much? It's like different than my vibe, but it was proven, like where should I be driving people? Right.
Yeah, no, those are great questions. Yep.
But yeah, I think the way that I would do that for you right now is I would drive to the webinar, because you want it with every passing week. We want more people opting into that webinar, and whatever it is, even if the title of the webinar changes every week or whatever, right? I would recommend that. And then on the thank you page from the webinar and or the follow-up emails, drive them to your automated system.
Okay.
And that way they get exposure to both. They definitely get on your list, regardless of which version of the automated system you send them to. I would definitely, if you're going to do it, in my opinion, I would send them to the version with you on it.
Yeah.
And I would probably run a split test on that video, make another video and try to do an even better job.
Sure. Yep.
But yeah, that's the basics of where we're at in terms of asking him questions. I would just get questions from your audience, and I would send an email to your list as well, saying I'm doing an interview with such and so. You might not know him, but he's accomplished these amazing things.
Yep.
Network marketing superstar, and happens to be a TikTok expert. I even went through his course. And so I'm going to be interviewing him on his methodology to grow his network marketing business on TikTok. And whether you have questions about network marketing or specifically how to grow your business on TikTok, please reply to this email, and let me know what your questions are. We would love to have, I would love to try to work them into the interview. And even if you only get like 2 back, you know what I mean? Even if they only get a few questions, that's a great starting point for an interview.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
yeah,
hey,
right,
I asked my people, I had some questions. I asked my people, you ask him, he'll probably appreciate the fact that you ask him. And if you do all those things, you'll have a dozen questions to ask him easily that are all relevant and specific.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Yeah, no, that's great.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Rock and roll. Well, you know what? We're going to wrap up the show. So, Eric, you want to do a Pure Path promo?
Yeah. All right. So my Facebook group, Pure Path to Prosperity, is a place where I'm definitely going to be interviewing some amazing people. This coming Thursday, I'm going to be having an interview with Mike Gastola, who is an incredible network marketing leader. He's had tremendous success in TikTok growth strategy for business, and has a course that I went through in that, which is incredible. And yeah, I'm also doing my webinar in my Facebook group, and that is happening tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Your Action Plan for Success webinar, where I'm going to be showing you the 7 steps to creating a profitable online business to help you get from where you're at in life, feeling stuck, working for somebody else on their schedule, on their time, and creating a life of greater freedom, greater flexibility, working for yourself in your own work environment at home, and having more time to do the things that you love, and working towards greater financial abundance than you would be able to create trading your time for money working for somebody else. So I'll see you inside the Pure Path to Prosperity. The link is in the bottom of the description in the PS of this video. So click on it and I'll see you there.
Awesome, Eric. One thing I would recommend that you definitely do, man, that I think will help you. I know that there's this new threat of Facebook like deleting live streams and so on.
There is, yeah.
I feel like that's probably going to be with new live streams. They probably won't do it retroactively, but who knows, right?
I heard they're going to be taking them down, yeah.
Yeah, well,
we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Yep.
Regardless, one thing I would recommend that you do is either every day, or if you decide to follow Mark Joyner's, Mark Joyner, by the way, guys, if you don't know Mark, he sold the first ebook online. He, as far as we can tell, invented the ad tracking pixel. He was one of the early pioneers of direct response internet marketing. I was lucky enough to have him as one of my mentors early on in my marketing career. We created a bunch of products together and did a whole bunch of teleseminars together. It was extremely informative for me, and really helped me along. He's the founder of Simpleology, the simple science of getting what you want, which is kind of like a productivity philosophy in software. And in it, he teaches the source of the Nile technique as well as the band of excellence principles. And so If you decide to follow that, I would really encourage you to either every day or every third day or whatever, do the training for your team that you know they're going to need. So make an outline of the training that you know you're going to need to make for your people.
Okay.
And then do the training in your Facebook group, or maybe multi-stream it. Do the training in a place where you know you're going to have a recording of it when it's done, regardless of what Facebook decides to do. Right.
All right. Yep.
But I really would recommend that you start doing the training that you wish you had, doing the training that you did have, but do your own version of it. Maybe reviewing the training that you went through when you first signed up to Kangen, or reviewing what the new version of that is, right? And creating an outline on your own, and or with ChatGPT, and then scheduling it in and doing that training. And like, I would encourage you to do it in, if possible, to do it in your free group, just to indoctrinate people in before they even join. Be like, hey, I was just going to do this only for my team, but I thought I would give you guys an experience of what it's like to be on my team in case you're thinking about joining. So I decided to open up my training to people that are on my team and people who are considering joining our team and getting trained, so that you can get
I like that
a
idea.
taste of what it's like. Right. And then, like, it could be a series of 15-minute videos, it might be a series of 1 hour videos. Who knows? But create the curriculum and then just record the training in advance, even if you're just talking to yourself.
Yep.
Right. So that it exists, and so that they can go through it at the appropriate time.
Yeah, that's great.
And even if you have to do it again later to make it better, if your first version stinks or whatever, it doesn't matter. Now you have the outline, now the basic training's done, right? First version. Cool. All right, dude. Well, we actually have the Get Shit Done work party in an hour. Guys, if you're not already a member of getshitdone.com, I encourage you, if you're an entrepreneur with a work ethic and you want to get shit done, you want to increase your productivity, you want to make more progress, you want to make more money, you want to grow your business faster, then I would encourage you to go check out getshitdone.com. That's where we have our community and school group for entrepreneurs. We train you how to get shit done in a wide variety of ways. And one of those ways is by taking part in our weekly work parties, where you sit down and get to work and do the things that will move the needle in your business the most, that you're probably going to procrastinate on doing if left to your own devices. So we're going to remove the resistance by facing it and plowing straight through it. So if you want to get some shit done with us today at noon, in about an hour, go to getshitdone.com, join, and we just opened the doors for free lifetime membership. We were charging, and we opened the doors for free lifetime membership for a limited time. So if you want to get in there and check it out, I encourage you to. And I think you'll be in for a treat. You'll probably really like the community. It's very positive, upbeat, optimistic, hardworking group of entrepreneurs who are supportive of each other in getting shit done. So if that sounds like fun to you, come join us. Hopefully we'll see you at noon. You can go into the calendar section inside the Get Shit Done community, and you will see a link to where you can join us on Zoom today. So if you are here because you want to be hypnotized desperately by me to get shit done, what you can do is you can go to www.workwithtellman.com, go to workwithtellman.com, and sign up to a private one-on-one hypnosis session with me. I have an unbelievable offer there that you are going to find absolutely impossible to refuse. Also, Eric, just in this greater conversation, okay, I want to share with you how this is done. So, or how is probably a better way for you to do it. So right now, we're doing the show every day, and you're like, yo, click on the link in the description.
Yep.
Or look me up on Facebook. Okay. Both of which are not that easy if you want to get someone somewhere. Okay. And so An easier version would be go to thewavewebinar.com. Okay. And they would opt in for the Wave webinar and then be given an invite to join your Facebook group.
Okay.
See? And so that way, whether you're on the Get Shit Done show or you're on a guest on a podcast somewhere, or you're just talking on TikTok, or you're doing your own live stream, you could just send people straight to the Wave webinar and it's in full alignment, right? Or it could be thepurepath.com or whatever, right? But like, you want all your stuff to be in, or it could just be ericdoliver.com or whatever, but you want the stuff to be in alignment so that it's like, so that it's easy for you to give out your URL to accomplish your primary objective, right? Which is, in this case, getting people onto the webinar and booking calls, right?
Yep.
So, and we know that the webinar is still a question mark. We don't know that the webinar converts.
We don't.
But you do know that you have the ability to sell from a properly educated book call.
Right.
So get your people properly educated from Messenger, get them to book calls, and get them on your webinar, right? Like basically you could be, if they seem interested in exploring stuff in Messenger, then you just ask them, say, well, do you want to book a call or do you want to join the webinar? And then if they join the webinar, they give them the opportunity to book a call anyway. And it's basically like, are you already on board? Do you already know that you want to get involved, or do you want to talk with me personally, or would you rather, or do you want to go on the webinar? And like, that's it, dude. Like, you can give them a choice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they kind of got to watch the webinar before they can book a call with me. Otherwise, I'm like trying to do a one-on-one webinar with each person, and that's not very effective.
Right. We already solved that problem. This is something you need to fix, dude. You need to go and have, one way or the other, you need to give them the video that they need to watch after they book the call. Okay. So you need to go into the calendar. If you're using Calendly, go in there and have explicit instructions in the email, in the email that they receive, on like everywhere you have the ability to customize anything. Link them back to watch that video, even if the video is a new page you make with the old webinar recording slapped up on there. Like, if that's what you have to do, do it anyway. And what I'm suggesting is that you want people, you want calls booked, but you want calls booked with people who have watched this 45-minute webinar or something?
Yep.
Great. Then just be like, then try this. And if it doesn't work, dude, you're going to know after a week. Okay. So be like, okay, great. Have you watched my webinar yet? If they tell you they want to book a call, be like, have you watched my webinar yet? And they're going to be like, no. They're like, oh, cool, great. So after you book the call, I need you to watch the webinar. I need you to watch the webinar so you can get up to speed.
Okay. Yeah, that would work.
Before the call.
Yep.
Okay. And then text me back after you've watched it. Here's the link.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
And you might find that works. You might find that no one watches the video and it's a total waste of your time, and that there's no way you're ever doing that again, or you might find you create a book a call system and you drop them on a thank you page with the video, and that works great. Right. So play around with it, put the information in front of them. If you have to put the information in front of them before they book a call, that's fine. But like, get in Messenger, engage them in conversation, find out where they're at, find out if they're interested, and find out if they want to jump on the webinar or book a call with you. And then like, give them a link to watch a recording if they want to book a call. Because we need to get you on the phone with people. It's better for you to get on the phone with people and do a one-on-one explanation than it is not for you to be on the phone with people.
I mean, Yes and no.
If you can fill up your schedule, Eric, with 3 calls a day at an hour apiece where you have to do a mini webinar with everyone, if you can do that, then it's time to work smarter.
Okay.
Okay. Then it's time to, like, if your schedule's full, then it's time to put another barrier in front of them booking with you. But until your schedule's full, no. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to sell anything to anybody if you don't have anybody on your sales calls.
Right, but doing an individual webinar with each person that's nobody does it that way.
You aren't going to make a dime without booked sales calls, dude.
Okay. Yep.
I don't care what other people do or don't do. That doesn't matter. The point is,
Okay.
can you get your schedule full? That's
Right.
that's the goal. Fill your schedule this week. Fill it up. like through every means necessary. Some things are going to work. Some things aren't going to work. Right.
Yep.
But yeah, I would definitely encourage you to use the systems that you have. If you want to explore new traffic sources, I think that's great.
Yep.
You know, like live streams on Facebook are not nearly as exciting and not nearly as well attended as I would like.
Right.
Live streaming on TikTok totally got tons of new people on, like, with no effort, you know? So like there seems to be some life there. Not surprising, right? So that does, yeah. So, but just stay focused on building your list, getting people on your webinar, and then throwing some of them at your automated funnel and seeing what works better to get sales calls.
Sure.
And then if you find that the automated funnel works 10 times better and you're just wasting your time with the webinar, great, adjust and then focus on improving your automated funnel. Cool. That makes sense.
Yep.
Right. Sweet.
Okay, cool.
All right. Rock and roll. This has been our longest episode yet. 1 hour and 41 minutes.
I know, right?
Little rambling. Dude, yesterday's episode with Curtis was brutal. I had such bad internet.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
Yeah. It was basically a scrapper. It was basically like we totaled the episode.
Oh, I noticed your voice was all. I watched the first like few minutes when there was 2 of you, one on either side of Curtis, and your voice was like echoing.
Yeah. It's funny. I opened StreamYard in 2 tabs, and then I added myself to the studio on both cases, and I just figured I'd start it that way. Yeah. Cool. All right, dude. Rock and roll.
All right.
I guess I'll catch you in a little while.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, Tillman.
All right.
See you guys later.
Bye. All right.
All right. We're still live.
Are we?
Yep.
It's weird. All right. Oh, right. I know why. This happened to me before. All right, Eric, say something great.
Something great. Okay.
Something great about me.
Tillman makes the best golden salsa ever. If you've never had golden salsa, you're missing out. I really wish
the only golden salsa.
That's why you probably never had it, because
that's right.
Tillman needs to figure out how to effectively market his golden salsa so that you can have that experience.
I will. I haven't put the juice into it. I mean, I haven't really tried selling it since I learned marketing, years ago. So it's like they'll be like my retirement business or something.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. Yeah, I used to still have a jar, not a full one, but it was an empty one. It had the label on it still. And yeah, it was like if you guys have ever seen like the Newman's Own like brand, it was kind of like that, but it was Tillman's salsa with a picture of Tillman. I think you had your top hat, maybe. I can't remember.
I didn't do the top hat.
No, not a top hat.
No, but like I did. I mean, there were a few iterations, but a few of them I had long blue hair and my nose ring,
right,
and a very patchy beard.
Yep.
Yeah. Prime.
So what's happening with this live stream, Tillman? It's still streaming.
Look, and now my camera kicked out. What the heck is going on? It's like a total mess over here. What's going on is that my video was choppy, and so I'm broadcasting from an old laptop, and I think that the cache is the browsing history is full, and so I've actually cleared this out in the past, and it's totally solved the problem. But I cleared it out today, and it didn't solve the problem. And when I cleared my browsing history, it logged me out of StreamYard. So even though we're still streaming, I'm not logged in, and so I'm now logging in on a secondary tab.
Okay.
And what that should do is it should allow me to actually end the stream. So this happened once before where oh, come on. Oh, it just took everything. Let's see. 1 second.
Yep.
All right, great. Yeah, we're here now. And now, am I echoing? Eric?
What's that? Oh, your audio cut out.
Yeah.